The Jacksonville defense has been carrying this team through the first 4 weeks, but that's not going to be the case for much longer. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why this offense is about to turn the corner and explode. What is going on, everyone? This is Jag Central, and I hope you're all doing well. The Jacksonville Jaguars are currently sitting 3-1, and it feels great. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we know how this team have gotten here. The defense has been playing at an absolutely elite level. The offense, on the other hand, has been inconsistent and it's been frustrating, and it hasn't looked really pretty, to be honest. But as I said at the top of this is all about the change. The foundation is set, the issues are fixable, and this Jaguars offense is about to take off, and let me break down why. First thing is to understand why this offense is about to take off is we have to look at the parts that are already working at a high level. You can't build a great offense without a great foundation, and the Jags have that two massive pieces already in place. First, the offensive line. This unit has been a revelation this season. I've spoken about them in previous seasons where the offensive line hasn't been great, but they have been absolutely dominant through 4 weeks. During the first 4 games of the season, Trevor Lawrence has been under pressure on only 23% of his dropbacks, and that's the lowest rate in the entire NFL. And with that type of protection, he's only been sacked just 3 times, which is basically tied for the lowest total in the league. And that is basically the hardest thing to do to build an offense, is basically have a great O-line, and ours is already playing like it is one of the best. And what happens when your offensive line is dominant? The rushing attack just becomes a weapon, and that's exactly what's happened. The Jaguars right now are a top 5 rushing team in the NFL, averaging just over 140 yards per game. Travis Etienne is literally playing like a superstar. 2 seasons ago, he had that burst. He was looking like one of the best running backs in the league. Last season, he took a huge dip in his performances and even lost some of his reps during the season. But right now, he's looking like a superstar. He's currently 3rd in the league in rushing, and a combination of a great offensive line and a great running back is basically like a start or a good foundation to any good offense, and we have that currently. So if the offensive line is great and the run game is great, like, why has the offense looked so clunky and inconsistent? And for me, it comes down to 2 main things. And they have nothing to do with talent, and it has everything to do with focus and execution. And that's why I feel like it's super fixable. The first issue is the penalties. As we talked about after every game, the Jags lead the league in accepted penalties, illegal shifts, false starts, holding calls. All of this, for me, are self-inflicted wounds. Like, these kill drives before they can even start. And that isn't a talent issue. It's a discipline issue, and it's something that can be cleaned up in practice. And currently the Jags are middle of the pack in terms of 3rd down conversions, and that's mainly due to like the lack of focus on penalties, which allow us when I think last game had a 4th and 1, we were looking to convert and we had an illegal shift, and then that put us back to a 4th and 6 where we had to pump the ball. The second, I feel like, is an even bigger issue, and this has been an issue since Trevor Lawrence has been in the league, because he leads the league in basically drop passes. Not him exactly, but his receivers lead the league in drop passes. This directly impacts the biggest missing ingredient, which is the deep ball. And for me, the deep ball 2 seasons ago when the Jags were flying high, actually 3 seasons ago when they got to the playoffs, the deep ball was basically the one that opened up the offense for the Jags. And currently the Jags are one of the worst teams in the league when it comes down to drops, and that basically erases any explosive plays. And looking at this stat, which is really crazy to look at, in the first 3 games of the season, Trevor Lawrence attempted 9 passes of 20 or more yards down the field. Not a single one was completed, and he was only one of 2 quarterbacks in the entire NFL with that many deep attempts and 0 completions. And that's not an accuracy problem, because Trevor Lawrence is getting the ball in the hands of the receivers, and the receivers are dropping the ball. That's kind of my core argument. Like, I'm just thinking to myself, imagine what this offense will look like if those drop balls are turned into completions, and if one of those deep shots turn into a 45-yard gain for Brian Thomas Jr., everything opens up. The defense can no longer stack the box, because that's what happened against the Houston Texans. The Texans said, you know what, your passing has to beat us. So they stacked the box, which made it a bit difficult for Travis Etienne to rush. But if defenses are not able to stack the box because we've opened up the deep shot, then now the play action becomes lethal. The 3rd down conversions get easier, and now we're winning games with our shall we just call it a C grade offense, because our defense is currently like running the show. The run game is really good, but I definitely think we kind of saw a step in the right direction against the 49ers. There was a time that Brian Thomas Jr. caught a big one, and Trevor Lawrence played a clean game as well with 0 turnovers. That's step one. Step two is eliminating dumb penalties, and then step three is simple, catching the ball. And if these are basically the basics, because we've already got the foundation ready, like the offensive line is there, the running back, the rushing attack is there, but it's literally like the penalties, the turnovers, and also catching the football. Once we kind of get doing the simple things right, the talent's just going to take over, because we have talented receivers on the team. And when you kind of combine an elite offensive line, elite run game with the arm talent of Trevor Lawrence and the speed of our receivers, you get an offensive explosion. It's not a matter of if, it's going to be a matter of when, and I believe it's coming up very, very soon, and hopefully we see that on Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's my take on the offense. Am I being too optimistic? Do you agree that a breakout is just around the corner? Let me know what you think down in the comment, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Jag Central for more analysis all season long, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.